number one fan. I'm your number one fan. Gotta understand, I got a plan. Go for what you want, might be what you thought. You gotta take a chance. Gotta understand, I'm your number one fan. Number one fan.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of KSN Podcast here. This is episode number 17, and I'm your host, Kurt the Magnificent. Tonight, we have two people coming on. They're not even just guests, they're family, and they're going to share their stories about growing up being a Knicks fan, how they're watching the Knicks now, just talking about their story of even getting into basketball growing up. They're from the city, but they're in different places at this point now. And again, like I said, this is family, which is my aunt on the left and my uncle on the right. They're cousins, first cousins as well. And they're going to just give us a great highlight of what it was coming up and even now. You know, I'm a Knicks fan, and we always talking together about these Knicks. So, you know, let's give a big hand to them for my Aunt Alicia and my Uncle Kenny. Let's give it a hand.
Hello.
Good evening, everybody.
Hey, what's up?
Everybody as well.
Yes.
I hope so.
How y'all doing? Y'all good?
We doing real good. I am, Kenna. How you
I'm
doing?
trying. I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Listen. This is, you know, I love this. This is great.
No.
And we're gonna get through this. We'll have some fun. It's gonna be some comedy. It's gonna be some sadness. It's gonna just
Can
be
you hear
some
me?
joyfulness. So
Yeah.
we should be good. We should be good to go. All right.
We got it.
No.
You know, let's talk real quick.
No.
I want to get a story on both parties. Let's get first Alicia, you know, talk about you growing up, you know, with the Knicks, or growing up watching or just playing basketball, watching basketball growing up from, you know, Harlem.
Okay. Well, I started watching your uncle and your uncle's Terrence and your Uncle Kenneth playing ball all my life. And playing in little tournaments and stuff like that, and ragging behind them like Linus in the blanket. Just wanted to hang out with them and watch basketball. 70s basketball, I wasn't really into it. I knew about it because they would always talk about the Pearl and talk about Walt Frazier. I remember when they went to an all-star game, and I wanted to go so bad, but Mom wouldn't let me go. But they went back, and they had so much stories and so much fun of what they saw. And I was like that little kid from Crooklyn, wanted to go to the game and couldn't go. And, you know, had to sit there and say, oh, man, they won the game. Because I think they won that season, right, Kendall? They won the All-Star that season. But I think either you or Terrence got those pictures that y'all took from that season. But anyway, I really wasn't into the basketball like that when Bernard King and all of those guys was playing. When I actually got into basketball was when I was overseas in Germany. And we had this channel called AFN, which is the Armed Forces Network. So they would show like the sports games, the Giants, the Knicks, the Yankees, and the Rangers. And when those games came on, because I was homesick, those were the teams that I would always, you know, just focus on, just always watch those games. And that's when you had Patrick and Anthony Mason, Charles Oakley, Mark Jackson, John Starks, who I missed, Allen Houston, Thomas. That's when I really got into watching that game. And watching that game, I was talking with the guys overseas, and I would tell them, man, they play like they on Rucker Tournament. Girl, what you know about Rucker Tournament? That's my neighborhood. And that's when I actually fell in love with the Knicks. So wherever I was stationed, if I was stationed in Colorado, I would get in my car and drive up to Denver to go see the Knicks. If I was at Fort Jackson and the Knicks was in Atlanta, I would drive down to Atlanta to see the Knicks. If they was in Charlotte, wherever they come to Charlotte, I am always in Charlotte watching the Knicks because we have no sports teams here in South Carolina. So wherever the Knicks is, if I'm within 4 to 5 hour driving distance, I'm going. And that's my love of basketball. I started playing in parochial school at St. Joseph. In the 5th grade, I played there for 3 years and played 1 year in high school. Played a little bit in intramural in the military. And then, play for my grandson's daycare when they had parents basketball. And that's about basically how I play ball.
Nice.
Watching them fellas, hanging out with the fellas. Because my mom wouldn't let me hang out with the girls in the street, because she figured the street was too dangerous for me. So I had no choice but to tag behind Kenneth there. You can ask Kenneth how they felt with me tagging behind them all the time. Because that's how Mom and our Gladys, those used to always send me with them. But I had no choice. I had to sit on the sideline and watch. And that's how I fell in love with basketball and football. Because they had these little football things. Kenneth, you remember those games y'all used to play with the football too? It was almost like on the little boards. They had like little football teams that they would play tournaments and stuff like that. I would watch them play football too. And so that's how I fell in love with the sports. Had no choice.
So, listen, thank you for that great story. Very touching, funny. Oh, man. Uncle Kenny, man, I hope you can give us that same type of story that she gave us growing up, basketball, Knicks, how that started, and then still to today, how you watch.
Well, for me, starting with basketball, playing basketball was with the family, Terrence and Alfonso and the crew. When people were out there hanging out, we were out in the backyard or, in the park by the projects, Riverside, going to some game, playing around and having a good time. And that's how we stayed together as a family. We were one together. When you saw us, it's one or two of us had a basketball and we were going somewhere or we were hanging out together. So that's how we stayed together. With that, it was for me, it was good because I always thought I was good until I got with them, and I realized that I was just a supporting cast. But someone's got to learn to clean up, right? So that was me. I took pride in being defense, and I love defense, and that was how I excelled in what we did, which was having a good time. We would stay out if we were in the Bronx. We'd stay out till like 2-3 o'clock in the morning, right there by Janie's house.
What was
playing
that at?
ball, 163rd Street in Washington.
Okay.
And then after we played for a couple of hours there, then we go up to the pizza joint or we go to White Castles, and then we come back and play some more. So, and then then we became good, and especially around the neighborhoods, and we would get into games, and we end up getting into tournaments, and playing. We played PAL. We did something. We played Bronx PAL, and we played Manhattan PAL, and we won both divisions. The problem came is that we ended up having to play both divisions. We had to play ourselves. So, that was not a good thing. So we had to give up one of the trophies because we couldn't do that.
Right.
So, but that was the fun of it. And basketball had always been the center of my thing. So, with that, so I really enjoyed it. And in terms of the Knicks, I just love what the Knicks represent, especially back in my time when defense was their thing. And that's what I really loved about defense. Red Holzman. I'm going back,
The 70s. 60s, late 60s, early 70s. Yeah.
70s. These were the guys who who taught and played. And Clyde was, Clyde was Clyde. He was the one that would steal hubcaps off a moving car. So I mean, that was the kind of thing I'd like to do and what I enjoyed watching. And they played, it wasn't like today where you can't touch anybody. You got up on them. You knew what their shirt number was. You could see what size jersey they wore. So, that's what I like about it.
Yeah.
So.
Talk about that. I want to, before we keep going, what All-Star game that was that Alicia was talking about that y'all went to? She couldn't go.
Yeah, she couldn't go. And the worst part about it, I can't remember exactly the year, but I know that.
Because I know that one of those pictures was with Lenny Wilkins, wasn't it?
Lenny Wilkins, Connie Hawkins was there.
Where was this at?
The Garden.
The Garden.
Oh, okay.
The Garden. Spencer Haywood was there. I mean, you had ball players there. You had people that could play ball and enjoyed playing ball. So
this must have been like the late 60s. Had to be the late 60s then.
Yeah. It's so funny because like a month ago I saw, because I have one of the brochures, from there with the signature on it. So, and I'll have to find it. When I find it, I'll send it to you so you can see it. But it was great. It was just one of the things that it just kept me going, and I've always, I always wanted to play in the Garden floor. That's all I wanted to do, play in the Garden floor and have a good time. One of these days I'm going to do it. I'm going out there. They may take me to jail afterwards, but
don't be a meme.
Hey, listen, a lot of people that know me. And your grandma, she'll be upset, but
just go down there for a shoot around when they have the shoot arounds or they have the little contest.
Yeah. I mean, that was, and it was clean fun, and it's. Well, I'll get into this a little later because I was watching an interview with Patrick Ewing today, so I'll get into that a little later.
Talk about the Knicks right now throughout the season, what they went through, and now their expectations. Going through these playoffs. Aunt Lish, you can go first.
You know what? Like I talk on the little fan club that I'm on Facebook. I have to, constantly tell them fellas, sometimes we hot, sometimes we not. Sometimes we got it, and sometimes I say half of the time I don't know what exactly. I don't know what. Like for instance, the first game we was balling. And the bench came off the back, and they came off the bench, and they was balling. Then you have Monday night. They sat the starters down, and the bench was like they couldn't catch a cold. And I'm saying, like, okay, this must be the not day.
Yes.
This must be the not day. I ain't hot today. But they got it in them. It's just that we don't have the consistency that we need. We got the players, we got the bench, but we just don't. For some reason, it's something missing about consistency. If we can get that, I think we tough to beat. Because we got Cat in the Hat. You got Mitch.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You got your two. You got your enforcer, which is Josh. And Alvarez, you got your two enforcers. So you see what I'm saying? And if Brunson gets in his mind that he has other people on the team, bring the play to me and I'll pass it out to them, we on and popping.
Right. And don't forget about
Huh?
OG.
Don't forget OG.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about OG. OG just in his own little mind. I don't know what he be thinking about sometimes. Sometimes he just get the ball and he dunk it. He'll shoot a three. And then sometimes he'll fall and turn his ankle. You think he out. Then he going to get back up and get it. Look, Alvarez probably be over there.
No, that's not Alvarez. That's Clarkson. That dude. The voodoo.
so wrong.
You,
I
you,
don't know. And then he get up and he ball like he crazy.
Yeah.
But like I
Yeah.
said, it's the consistency. If we can stay consistent, we can take it all away. I think.
True. I agree with you. It's a mental thing.
Yeah.
It's a mental lapse that happens with playing as a team to get to that. And it's not that, I have to shoot 15 shots. And they say, oh, it's not about that, but it's a positioning thing, and it's a split moment that happens, and
That's it.
after once you miss it, then the other team is off and running.
That's right. That's right.
Right.
So there was no way we should have let them drop that many points on us when the bench came out.
No, but
Right.
you know what? That's when you snatch that bench back up.
Exactly. And I was looking at Brown like, I wish I was out there so I could just throw a piece of popcorn at his head.
Yeah.
You take him out.
No, yeah, and you can believe in your team, but when your team is not, you can see it in the first 2 or 3 minutes. You know what?
No,
Time
you got to
out.
come sit down.
Time out. Somebody
Yeah.
fall. Somebody get hurt. Something like that. Because your rest of y'all got to get back out here.
That's it.
You
Drink some water, stretch,
Yep.
and get on out there. Because they ain't doing it.
No, I was just gonna say that needs to happen, but he needs to be consistent with that. And
Yeah.
he has a great bench, but you can't. You're not Oklahoma.
Right.
You're not Oklahoma when you have absolutely 10 starters.
Yeah.
right.
You
Right.
don't. You have 7 starters, and then you have other bench players.
Yeah.
And they fill in. So you gotta play smart.
I agree. And now with this series tied at 1 apiece, now they got to go down to Atlanta. And I'll give you my scenario before the series started. I said they'd probably go 6 games. I said Atlanta will probably get a game at the Garden, which they got the one.
Right.
And I figured it was split. The 3 and 4, I figured there's going to be a split there as well,
Right.
where the Knicks could just finish off the last 2
Finish
games.
off at home.
Well, if they don't finish off at home, we'll finish off in Atlanta game 6 at least. But I just figured that if we could just at least get one here in Atlanta,
Yeah.
and then come back home and get the game 5, and then game 6, we just gotta make it happen.
Make it
And
happen.
Well,
and-
but the thing about it is we cannot just get one in Atlanta. We have to get one in Atlanta.
Right.
And
Right.
we have to. We need to get us 2 in Atlanta and be done with it. I'm a firm believer. Beat them down every time. I don't
Every
care who it is.
time. That's
every
it.
time.
That's
If
it.
I'm up
So
by
you can
50,
get some rest,
I
so
want
you
to be.
can go home and get in an ice bath, get your
Right.
massage, get your mind right for the next round.
That's
Yep.
right.
And if I'm up by 50, I want to be up by 51. I want to take them.
Yeah.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what you do.
Right.
Yeah.
What do y'all think? Should we finish them in 5 or 6? What do y'all think?
5. Be done with it.
5 and be done with it so you can relax.
Do y'all think
Yes.
that? Do y'all think that?
We can do it if we stay consistent.
Yeah, it's a mental thing. They have the players. They have good coaches.
We have good coaches. We got the players. We got the bench because you have 3 on the bench that's ready to play at any time. That's Alvarez, that's Deuce, and that's Clarkson.
What about Mitch?
And don't forget
And
Shump.
Mitch. Who?
Shump.
Chomp.
Shumpert. Yeah.
Shumpert not on the Knicks?
No. Yes, he is.
Shumpert?
What's his name? Not Shump. What's his name? What's his name?
I don't give a
What's
that
his name?
Shumpert.
All right,
No, not
we're going
Shump.
back like 15 years ago.
You know who I'm talking about.
What-
He's a guard.
Not Hugh Pocky Party.
No, he ain't talking about him.
No.
Party
you know
just
who
gets on my nerve.
No, you know who I'm talking about. Curtis.
You talk about
He was in Boston.
Oh, the what? You talking about Sham?
Sham.
Shaman.
You talking about Sham? Sham, yeah. When Sham get hot, you can't stop him.
Yeah.
Right.
You can't stop him.
I'm
But we
saying
got people that's ready to come off the bench. The thing is, when they come out ready, they can't make silly mistakes. And then you got to also recognize that they don't want New York to win. So every time we post up, they gonna call a foul.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah,
Do
but
y'all
there too, we don't post up enough.
Because when we post up, they call a foul. What
y'all
you
think-
gonna post up for if they gonna call a foul? Then look, then you gonna have your starting three, your main shooters that play defense in foul trouble. There's no reason for 2 or 3 of your players to be in foul trouble in the first quarter.
No, of course
I
not.
got an issue
Of
with
course
that.
not.
But that's also they need to know how to play defense, and the way defense is played now, it's a touchy feeling. And like you said, they don't want the Knicks to be there.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's
Do
it.
y'all think the Knicks can get to the NBA Finals?
No. As much as I love them, no.
I think they can.
Okay, Kendall.
What what makes you think they cannot, Aunt Lisha?
Because the consistency.
Okay. Uncle Kenny?
Well, the hypothetical question is if I think. So I think they can. But the consistency part of it is the biggest problem. But what do you need? You need a shooter.
I agree.
McBride is not McBride. He's good. Bride is good. But
When he get hot and he feeling it, he can pop a 3.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
The
but
same thing with
when he's
Duke.
feeling it, he just throws it up though.
And what's that other white kid's name?
Shamit?
No,
Sham is another one.
the guard.
Oh, you're talking about Colin.
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 He-
Colin.
They don't play him.
But he don't get in the game. He don't get in the
He
game.
don't
right
get
now.
in
The
the
game.
rotation-
I
They shorten,
don't know why they don't play him.
they shorten the rotation. He's 13 man off the bench. He ain't getting off the bench now. Unless one of the guards get hurt. So,
Because I think he's good.
I think he
he's
is
really
too.
good.
I think
He
he
was
is really.
good. Yep.
He
A
about
year
to get
ago, he was
paid.
good.
He about to get paid this summer.
Oh,
Trust
yeah.
me. He's gonna
Oh,
get
yeah.
paid.
He's gonna
Because
get
I
paid.
think he's real good.
Yeah.
He's real good. Because that's what I was hoping Brown put out there when he took the bench in. Put the bench in. I said, where's the white kid?
That's right. Exactly. And you know what? That's another reason why the Knicks can't get there. How many?
Brown?
No, huh?
Who, Brown?
No, because it's kind of dark on that bench.
Yeah. Today, white boys can jump. White men can jump. In today's basketball, white men can jump.
They can jump. They can jump. They can jump. But you need 1 or 2 to be on that team.
That's it.
And you right now you only got 1 piece of salt out there.
All right. We could be on that all day. So the other thing is now, I will say this with the Knicks. Now they can get there, but like you said, the consistency has to be there. And if they do play Boston, which right now should still be there, but even though Philadelphia won last night,
Yeah, that was wild.
but if it is Boston, you got to be ready for them before you even get to Detroit. If it's Detroit, we don't know how that's going to shape out on them next rounds. But I think the Knicks can get there, and they just got to be consistent. Winning it, they're not going to win it. I'm gonna keep it real. They're not going to win it. But if they can just get there, I think they can actually get there if they're consistently on point and on cue. That pick and roll game that they be doing in the first game, I say when that Brunson and pick and roll game was working, I said it.
You
do
milk
that
it.
every time. That's it. They're not going to be able to figure that out. They're not going to figure that out.
No,
You can't.
they're not.
Right. And CJ McCollum is killing. He is about to be the next villain. And he's not trying to be the villain.
No,
But
he
no.
just want to play ball.
Right. I
But
get it.
Play ball.
The other thing is that they really need all 5 that's on the court have to realize defense is what gets you here.
Right.
The defense wins series,
That's
and that's what they
now,
have to play from 1 to 5 that's on the court.
But now the main one who plays all the defense is Josh.
Yeah, but he plays that
Josh
tenacity.
doesn't. If you notice, watch. Josh doesn't shoot a lot, but he plays defense, and
Right.
he gets bounds, and he plays, and he plays a little offense. He does a lot of assists as well.
Well, he
He's
do a lot of
the
stuff.
energizer.
Right. He's the intangibles. He do a lot of things a lot of other guys ain't doing on the floor.
That,
But
But some of them other guys need to be doing some of that.
I agree.
that's it. Now,
I'm
if
getting
we
paid
can
a lot
get
of money.
couple of them to do what Josh doing, I think we'll have a chance.
Right. Now, real quick, So at the end of game two, because this was a huge controversy, and a lot of the Knicks groups that I'm in on Facebook,
Said it
and
wasn't
even
a
like on my
timeout.
yeah, and I'm like, it was no timeout because they used the two timeouts already in the last 3 minutes, which is the
Yeah,
rule. The rule after the 3 minute mark, you only have two timeouts left. And
that's
they
it.
used the two. One
Yeah,
at around 2:43. I don't know why he called the timeout. I think he should have called it before then. But 2:43 left, and then he called the timeout with 10 seconds left when Detroit went up by 4 on
right,
that
right,
dunk.
right,
So and
right.
that was it. So that's why people were like, because what happened was if you were watching NBC, the score overlay showed that the Knicks still had a timeout left. Even the announcers got confused because they thought at first they did it, then they thought they did. But when they saw that after the missed free throw, the Knicks pushed it, they were like shocked. But I wasn't because I ever knew
Yeah, I
they
knew
didn't have
that
no
they did.
timeout.
I knew
Right,
that too.
right.
Yeah,
My thing was I was upset about was when Bridges got the ball, get to the basket. Just get to the basket because you could have got the foul. Or if y'all didn't want Bridges to be in that spot, because y'all knew that play, y'all set up that play. Get Brunson in that spot.
that's it.
Brunson gonna get to that
He would
basket.
have popped it.
He gonna pop or he gonna get to that basket. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how y'all felt about that. Like
I just felt that we should have even lost the game because we
right.
was already up.
You shouldn't have
Yeah.
got to that.
It shouldn't have gotten to that
Got to
point.
that.
That's the problem. And how do you get to that point? By not having the correct people on the floor at the right
You
time.
know, it
That's
just
the
yeah,
coaches lose games and coaches win games.
yeah.
And that was a game that, in my opinion, the coach lost.
Oh yeah, Curtis, did you? I mean to cut you off. Did you see the after remarks with Brown?
I did see it. Yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all.
I missed it. What is he blamed it on the players?
Did he take responsibility?
I felt like he didn't take enough responsibility. I mean, he took some of it, but I felt like he didn't take enough. He was trying to like this whatever they were trying to explain, especially through the not even just the timeout or the last play on the rebound, the throw it. Was that something that y'all set up? And he tried to say, well, yeah, we wanted to get something quick off the rebound, but they was like, was that the right person to get to? Then he kind of deflected away from that. So you saw it was like yes and then a no. So yeah, I didn't like that from Mike Brown. I didn't like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So he knew he messed up. So that's all that
Yeah.
basically that's what it was.
He messed up, and the players messed up.
Yeah.
The players shouldn't have let that lead get. They shouldn't have lost the lead.
That's
And
it.
then the coaching at the same time, the last couple
Yeah.
minutes of the game,
Yeah.
and that's that.
Yeah.
So, one more topic, real quick. I want to get your favorite all-time Knick. All right, and I want to start with Uncle Kenny first.
Why are you gonna come in here?
Make sure we get it.
My favorite all-time Knick. I've said it from the beginning. Is Walt Frazier.
Okay.
I just thought he was just what I like to watch, and what he embodied in terms of the Knick culture, and which is what I think right now the closest one. I mean, Brunson is the closest thing to him. He doesn't have the flash, but in terms of the style that he plays and how he carries himself, I think he's the same kind of guy. So, but just in that.
Gotcha. And then Aunt Lisha, what about you? Your favorite all-time Knick?
Well, I like them all because I'm just a diehard Knick fan. So I don't have no favorites. I like them all, but I think the one that I would draw more to would probably be Patrick, because the whole time Patrick played, Patrick never got a ring, but he played with heart. As injured as he would be, his knees would be swollen like melons, but he would still be out there balling. He'd still be out there snatching. He'd still be up on those boards. As ugly as he is, I still love him for Patrick.
Okay, so since you said that, no, yeah, I know that.
I love me some Patrick Ewing. I tell people that all the time. I love me some Patrick Ewing, but he had the heart. He had the heart of a New Yorker, and he played that ball, and he never let anything stop him. Even when they traded him, he still would come back home.
Yeah,
but he traded him because he wanted out. So
Yeah.
I saw this interview with him today, and 15 years, New York, 15 years. That's what he loved.
Mhm.
And he regrets. That's one of his regrets was leaving New York, and not because he didn't have a ring, but it was because he felt that he hadn't accomplished what he should have accomplished. But you know, he's still a diehard Knicks fan.
That's it.
He's still a diehard Knicks fan.
He's an ambassador now for the
Yes.
team now.
Yep.
Yeah.
For who?
For the Knicks, he ambassador for the Knicks.
He's the Knicks
Yeah.
ambassador. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but you know, it was just good to see him and listen to him. If you get a chance, you should listen to that interview. He was really, really good.
You should send that to
So-
us. Like send it.
Send it to-
text
what was it on?
Text us the link if you
MSN. I'll try and find it tomorrow and so I can send it to you guys.
Okay.
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 Yeah,
And for me, you know, I will say definitely Patrick Ewing was definitely my real Allen Houston. That was my all-time Knick.
That's
Allen,
because he's a shooter. That's
Right,
why.
right.
You're a shooter.
Right. I like playing. I watched him. I wanted to play like him. I used to imitate
And
him
you're a
after the
shooter.
games. Right. So, but Pat Ewing, I just want to go back to him real quick before I go back to Allen Houston. He gave his heart. Patrick Ewing
Every
did.
time.
He did. He's one of the 5 guys that didn't get a ring, but should have got it. But there was some people that was in his way. You know,
Yeah.
like him.
Jordan.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
That was in his way. Yeah.
That was in his way. I'm saying in his way. Jordan was in his way. You know,
Yeah.
Olajuwon got in his way.
Yeah.
You know, but I'm talking about 5 guys that definitely didn't get it, but should have got it. Ewing is one. John Stockton, Karl Malone, another 2. All right,
Yeah.
that didn't get it. Charles Barkley definitely had chances and just didn't get it. And
Right.
The only other person I'll say, and the reason why I'll say that he didn't get it, but you know, he played all his time, all his heart, Allen Iverson. I gotta give it to those 5 guys right there. They played
True.
their hearts out,
Yeah.
and they gave it all they got, and they just couldn't get it because there was people in their way.
That's it.
So, but Allen Houston, yeah, that was my guy. Like my all-time Knick. Played 9 years, you know, and I'm actually battling this that he should get a jersey retirement. I think he should get a jersey retirement.
I think all of them.
A 2-time All-Star. He got the Knicks to the finals, all right, and he averaged 20 points a game throughout those 9 years. Like I think he should definitely just get his jersey up there.
You just need Charles Smith, who's 6'10", to be able to dunk.
But look, y'all, I appreciate y'all coming on.
Oh, my
this
pleasure. My
was-
pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, this was
Yes.
fun. We're gonna do this again, and we're gonna make
Okay.
sure we
All right.
get this.
Don't just throw words out there because we got to do it again. So it's, you know, because I got more to say.
I know you do.
And Kurt,
And
I
you
want
know,
to
it
say
still
thank
stands.
you again.
Yeah, and it still stands for them finals, Curtis. You know, we
I
still
know.
got that.
I
You
know.
already
Listen,
know.
if we there, I know you coming. I know we
That's
get them
it.
tickets to go to the game. I know.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'll be right there.
The
Yeah.
mortgage will not get paid that month, I'm sure.
That's all right. Everything down here paid for. Everything down here paid for. I'll just be paying for them tickets forever, but that's all right.
Well, again,
I got to be there.
thank y'all. Love y'all family. And
Yeah.
you know, if for who's watching and listening to this, I hope y'all enjoyed this great loving episode talking about the Knicks and just being around family. And this is what I'm about. And you know, I hope y'all love and I hope y'all share this. Thank you again. I hope y'all have a good evening. This is another great edition on the KSN Podcast. I'm Kurt the Magnificent. Peace, love. Yes. You already
Love
know.
you.
Have a good night.
Take care.
Number 1